We are Squawking Dead, a podcast pulverizing episodes of the Walking Dead universe. I'm your host, David Cameo, and sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh, and sometimes we go deep. Today's episode is very interesting. We had this idea because it just occurred to me that when was Talking Dead's Ultimate Fan Competition going to come about? Because I know that Rachel had a very good video planned. The website isn't set up. Nothing's really set up. I think they just abandoned it. So, and then it got me thinking, hey, Ashley's still a host on this show when she can attend. She won in 2018. So I figured, let's mash these two things together. We'll talk about fandom. We'll talk about what it takes to be an ultimate fan. But a call to action to all of you, either during or after this episode airs. In the description for the YouTube and Facebook groups, YouTube and Facebook videos, there is a link in the top of the description for a call to action. If you have either submitted an Ultimate Fan video and not one, which is most of you, or are you from outside of the US and you've always wanted to attend or to take part in an Ultimate Fan competition, the Ultimate Walking Dead Universe Fan Competition. Now is your chance. We want to take the hits. We want you to create the Ultimate Fan video. Tell us why you are the Ultimate Fan. And if we get enough submissions, we will do a giveaway. What's more is that the more videos that we get, the more responses that we get, and I will create a clip that you can share at some point, maybe tomorrow, maybe on Sunday. But we will be pushing this pretty hard, and it'll coincide with this very episode that you're about to watch now. And so, without further ado, and again, keep that in the back of your mind, are you the Ultimate Fan? Prove it. Click the link in the description of the YouTube, Facebook videos at the very least, and prove it. And if you don't have a link, obviously if you're on Instagram or some other service like Twitch or Mixer or Periscope, go to our website, squawkingdead.com. There is a little call to action at the bottom that says, are you the Ultimate Fan? Click it. The video will explain everything. And there you go. And without further ado, folks, I will be there in the chat with you as this episode airs. It's not very long. We were worried that it would be because of the technical difficulties that we had, but we powered through. I did some editing magic, and it's about only an hour and 15 minutes. I say only because, usually sometimes it'll go to 2 hours or 2 hours and 15 minutes. But anyway, I don't want to waste your time. I missed you guys. I'm a little nervous, as you might be able to see. And I don't want this to end. But as all things do, it must. Enjoy the episode, folks. I'll be there in the chat as the episode airs. And tell me whether you are the Ultimate Fan in that link or on the website, squawkingdead.com. In any case, see you on the other side. We are Squawking Dead, a podcast, in case you didn't notice, pulverizing episodes of the Walking Dead universe. Sometimes we give you news, sometimes we make you laugh. Most times, we go deep. However, this time, we're going to make you laugh because we're doing a little something special. If you hadn't noticed, there's a big picture of Ashley on the screen, and she's here with us now, too, so it's very awkward for her right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Ashley Weidman, everybody. 2018 Talking Dead, Walking Dead Ultimate Fan. Rachel, Talking Dead, Walking Dead Ultimate Fan hopeful, as you'll see from her submissions, which only one has ever made it onto the website to vote for. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. So that's what we're doing. And I'm your host, David Cameo. And I did not ever submit a Ultimate Fan video. I'm the fan that kind of just stays in the dark room, going, yeah, they should have done this or that. I really dig on this show, yeah. And I'm talking to myself. Which is why we started a podcast to involve all of you. So, thank you. So I don't have to talk to myself anymore. Today's podcast is all about reviewing the many takes that both Ashley and Rachel had to take before submitting to Talking Dead. Now, what you may or may not know is that the first one doesn't always work. Oh, you got to take the kids out of this one, or you gotta dumb this one down a little bit. I really like the art thing, and let's do this or that. And they really kind of, like, if they're really interested, they will tell you to change things up, shorten things down, focus on this, don't focus on that. So it's kind of interesting experience if they are interested. If not, it's like crickets. But not for you gals. And that's kind of why I wanted to have you on. I wanted to talk a little bit about the experience, but also kind of show everybody what you went through. And we'll be alternating back and forth between the different takes, why one didn't work over the other, because I do want to get all of your takes as well. I want to get people who tried to submit for Talking Dead's Ultimate Fan. I want to talk to international listeners who, of which there are quite a few, who may have thought they were cheated out of doing it, and give them a chance to do it. If you had the idea in your head at the time for the last several years, including this one, I think it's 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So many people have wanted to do it, and if you have the idea and you want to do it, and you have this summer to actually do it, young kids, younger audience members, you can get that done. And if you have a vision of the future, like of what you want to do, if you want to redo it, or if you've already submitted a video to Talking Dead, it might be a really good opportunity to just upload it to us. Now, I will give you all the details. The link should already be in the description as this video airs. It's the first one on the page before we use any words. That's the video ask link. And without further ado, the first thing I do want to get out of the way is Ashley. You haven't been on for a while.
Yeah.
You just finished your first year teaching.
Yeah.
Right. Didn't quite go as planned. I can imagine, but I think most of us have seen the stills on your Instagram account at the very least. You've made a best effort. I saw some things were really, really cute, but tell me overall, the first half of the year, and then how that changed the second half of the year, and how you adapted, and just tell everybody how it went.
It was definitely just crazy all year, because you're a first year teacher. You're just trying to get in the groove of things and kind of trying to get the feel of like, what's your classroom management and how are the kids responding to it. And my principal at my school he holds very high expectations, and he doesn't mean to put pressure on us, because he's such a great principal, but it makes you have a lot of pressure for yourself, because you want to meet those expectations. And the parents are very involved in the school, and so I constantly had parents coming in and telling me, my kid needs to do this, my kid needs to do that. So it was a lot of like just kind of figuring out like the management of that. And and until everything happened, by January we had a pretty good system going on, and I was doing a lot of centers. I didn't do a lot of whole group stuff, so a lot of my classroom was very student based and student centered, and I did a lot of facilitating, but it was a lot of just small group stuff. And that last day we had school on March 13th, I honestly would have never thought that that was it. And I just remember it just being very eerie. And we had emails coming in every 15 minutes, make sure the kids have this, make sure the kids, you need to sanitize this, make sure if they have water bottles or snacks in their lockers, they need to go home with them. And then, we send the kids home, and then we sit down and watch the president address the nation about this, this pandemic. And it was very eerie. And we just thought, 2 weeks that we'll be back in school. Not a big deal. And then, you hear it was going until May 1st. Schools were closed. And I had actually planned a car parade for my school. And that I was the lead car, just because I had done the directions and things like that. And my principal was behind me, and we were stopped. And as we were
so
stopped,
this actually went through.
Yeah.
This actually started. So no, when was that?
This was the car. I think the car parade was the end of April.
Okay.
And we were stopped, and so I was out my sunroof, and so my principal is out his sunroof, and he looks at me and he said, "We just got the call. School is canceled for the rest of the year." And I remember that being very emotional, because I was so invested in these students, and I was sad for my own children, and but I still did one-on-ones with every student every day. It was insane. I was on Zoom 10 hours out of the day, pretty much. But it was crazy, but I still managed to get through it. And now I have a book club with my little first graders, going to be second graders. And we've been doing reading a book once a month in the summer, and then we'll like talk about it through Zoom. And so
it hasn't stopped.
Hasn't stopped. No, but it's not
insane.
as crazy. But now it's just more or less preparing for what's going to be in the fall. So
I see.
And fielding a lot of questions and a lot of angst. And
what have they said, Ashley, about returning to school?
Right now for Illinois, we are in phase 4, which means that schools can return to in-person instruction. However, social distancing, we have to wear face masks, which my school does not have air conditioning. So, so it's a big issue because it's hot in August. It's like 80s, 90s. And those poor little children, to cover their noses and their mouths, it's not gonna be good.
Yeah, that month can be really bad.
It's gonna be rough. So we've actually considered starting later, and then no more than 50 people in a room, and so then like lunchroom and lunchroom, playground, those things are gonna be a little bit of an issue. So that's stuff that the administration has to work out. And then a lot of disinfecting. So they've given us instructions like how to clean our classroom at night and things like that. So,
what is an average class size at your school?
20. I had 24.
They're pretty small then. Okay,
not bad.
So, however,
Silas
though,
has over 30 kids in his class.
Okay, yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of kids.
31, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Yeah, I had 24 and I didn't have an aide. I will have an aide this coming year.
Look at this one.
The aides are really good. They
Yeah.
can watch the kids while the teachers' backs are turned. You know,
and I can like go to the bathroom when I need to. Like,
oh my God.
I remember so many times I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm gonna pee my pants!" Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And what's so awkward is the teacher's bathroom is inside the office of the gym teacher, and so he'd be like in there, and I'd be like, "Hi, Mr. Martin, I gotta go to the bathroom."
We're just gonna squeeze by you right here.
So awkward. So I can actually use the bathroom now at appropriate times. So, but yes, it was a crazy year, but I love my little first graders, and I'll miss them very much.
Oh, well, are you moving on to do this year's first graders? Is that or
yeah?
Is it,
I'll have a new class. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. As much as they wanted me to be their second grade teacher, I will not.
Aw. That's always tough, huh? My wife is the same way. Like she loves teaching freshmen. Period. High school freshmen.
Oh, I couldn't do it.
Anything other than that, nah, no thanks.
Yeah.
She likes to get them when they're young.
My aunt was an elementary school teacher many, many years ago, and her school did this really awesome program where she would start with, I want to say kindergarten, but it may have started in first grade, but she would stay with that class for 3 years.
It's called a loop. Isn't it called like a loop?
I'm sure it has a name, but I couldn't tell you what it is. But it was really cool. So, yeah, she actually stayed with the same class, first, second, third grade.
Yeah.
And then they went to a new teacher. I thought that's really cool, but then it would be like extra sad as well, right? To spend that much time with these kids.
I know. Yeah. I know. I agree.
But it does kind of like, okay, if you have a good rapport with the kids, or if you find your way into a good rapport, like, okay, then you get that class and you focus on learning, and you don't, like new students aside, you kind of get into that groove a lot quicker. It makes kind of sense. Yeah. Especially for early childhood learning.
Yeah.
Exactly. I was going to say, especially at that age too, if a specific child is struggling with something, that teacher's going to know from year to year, how to deal with this student versus this student. And, so I thought it was a really cool idea.
Yeah.
You have to forgive me. I keep yawning, but I went on the hike for like the first time in a very long time, and I'm severely out of shape. I'm so out of shape. I did the whole mask thing. I was wearing sunglasses and another hat, a different hat, sweating. It's just awful. It was an easy hike.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking,
that sounds terrible.
It's kind of time. I'd been walking more often. My back doesn't hurt when I start walking. So good. Like it's time to actually get out there and just push yourself a little bit more. Maybe I'll go walking again tomorrow after my calves heal up from being sore. So I just wanted to apologize if I'm yawning. Just please, I'm gonna try not to go into the mic. I'm trying not to do that. That'll all get edited out. So it's just my apology up front, getting it out of my system. Hopefully. But Rach, we haven't had an episode in a very long time. And I think it's a really good idea to kind of catch up with you as well. I know you have this, you're always very positive. You're always, look, this is my perspective. You can say, no, I am a negative Nelly, but you're always pretty positive. I remember going into this, you were fretting a lot. You were very cynical and not sure where things would end up. But I want to know what's been going on. Your shop is open. I know that much. But like the months that have gone on, what did you go through? What have things been going on?
Well, everything that I'm going to tell you is probably going to sound like a bad thing, but it's actually not, because like you just pointed out, I'm quite a positive person, and I do try to look on the bright side of even bad situations. So with that being said, I will be selling my business in a couple of months. Yeah, the quarantine took away from me the tanning season. You know, I own a tanner and a salon, and the salon portion is really kind of still getting on its feet, so it's not something I consider like substantial income. The tanning is really what keeps the business open, and from the months of like March to June
Yeah.
is my busiest time. And the money I make during those months are what pretty much sustain me the rest of the year. And so I didn't have that this year, and was also denied for the SBA loan for small businesses.
GTFO. No way.
Yeah.
I heard it was
because I don't
tough. I heard it was tough.
I don't have employees.
Yep.
And so that money was going to go to companies, businesses that have employees with,
Yeah.
that they need to support and stuff too. I you know what? I get it though. I really do. Like it was just me.
My
It's
mom
just me.
couldn't get it for
So,
her hair salon either.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But honestly, this is giving me opportunities to do something else. And, owning a business was a lot of fun. It gave me a lot of freedom. But with all of that came a lot of stress.
Yeah.
And stress. So I'm looking forward to not having as much stress anymore. I'm also considering possibly homeschooling Silas next year. So I want to look for a job where I can either maybe work from home or just do like weekends or something. Because all that time off with my son was really, really amazing. And I kind of had a panic attack the night before I went back to work about like having to go do all that again. And so I got a chance to really bond with my son. It was nice. Sappy, I know, but whatever.
No, it's great. I was laughing actually because I was thinking, oh my God, this podcast better get off the ground because I want to start supporting Rachel. That was my immediate thought. And so I laughed a little because I'm like, God damn it. work harder, faster.
But I am really excited, and I actually already have a couple of people interested in buying. So I really think it's going to turn out really, really well.
Like a net positive. Maybe. Okay.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going out on like the highest note possible. Last year we actually turned a profit, which is amazing. We did that in under 5 years. Mm-hmm. I, redid the inside of the building. I added the beauty salon. I've done a lot for that place. So I feel really good about what I did, and I feel really good about leaving it in someone else's hands. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, it's not the best, but
Right.
It's not the best, but I'll make it. Make it.
It's heartbreaking.
Right. It is heartbreaking.
But, well, do you
And yet I smile.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, you did talk about maybe moving at some point. Is that
did.
off the table yet, or
Not at all. I just have to get someone else on board.
Oh, really? I guess I'll work on that. Hey, Eric. Yo, B.
Yeah.
Yo, EB. For my part, I don't have too much to say about it, but the struggle has really been mostly, and it's like, obviously everything is grass is greener. I mean, I've had the job that I've been able to catch up on several projects that have eluded me before pre-pandemic, and because my job is always a game of catch up, my day job, and it's been a little easier. We've been able to tighten the screws on some of the leaky foundations from our business. From our customer standpoints, like a lot of them have moved to pure remote, for the last several months. So we've had to beef up that offering. But with remote came ransomware, cyber attacks. So people would get in through those systems somehow through weak passwords, and then they'd find their way into different systems using other weak passwords from our users, some of whom have administrative access on certain systems. And then, from there, they could do a lot of damage. We had 2 customers that had just a terrible, cyber attack. And we've been able to get them back on their feet. It takes a while. It puts a lot of stress on me and the rest of the company, anybody who gets involved.
No kidding.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. During the quarantine, I probably had some videos out updating people on how, not necessarily how I was doing, but what we were when we were releasing the panel videos for Walker Stalker 2019. So there was a little of that update on the personal level, what was going on with me. But so there was that, and it was really involving. It really took a lot out of me. And then on the other side is health. We switched for a while, for about a month. In a couple weeks, we switched to Hungry Root. This is not an advertisement, so if you decide to get it, I'm not getting any money out of it. So Hungry Root is like HelloFresh, Freshly, all these different food prep services. They send you the prepped food, and then you just cook it yourself. It takes seconds, takes minutes, but it feels like seconds when you compare. Because we cook at home too. We're gonna be doing that this week. Actually, we're taking a break from it, but we're gonna try to take a month break from it and see how we're doing. It was just better than going to Wegmans every week or every other week to try to do a lot of our shopping and stuff like that. So just thinking smart. We're both working from home. She's also a teacher, and it's really stressful, and you just can't keep eating garbage. And so that's been the big thing. We've been going on walks more often. It's tough in a city. It's really, really tough. We're in a very popular pedestrian area of Brooklyn right now. So it's we have a couple of routes that we can use. One of which is through the cemetery that's nearby, which I know, but it's a very hilly cemetery too, so it's really exhausting.
Good cardio.
But beautiful. Yeah, too. You can get a good view of the New York City skyline, but also some of Brooklyn too, so it's really cool. But if you're not doing it for a week at a time, you go out there and you're like, hey, my back is hurting me. I gotta go home. And then you take these really powerful muscle relaxants. You're like, let's watch this flip. And so that's something I should have recorded, but missed opportunity, right?
Right.
Anyway, meanwhile, I'm in my underwear doing this too, right? Oh, honey, watch this. It's I married the wrong person. We're starting phase 2 tomorrow.
Okay.
Actually, no. Was that phase 3? No, we started phase 2 last week. So I should have gotten a haircut. Whatever's going on under here is just terrible right now. Cannot be shown. But yeah, I could have gotten it last week, but I didn't want to join that rush. Right. And there was a rush. And so...
Oh, my mom said she's been just insanely busy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Oh, yeah. And I've had more haircuts in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's what my mom said. She was she's been just nonstop, just...
Well,
crazy.
good for you.
Cuts, colors. Oh, yeah. They're I need a highlight. I'm like, yeah, 4 months of quarantine, and the first thing you want is blonder hair.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It's true.
But you guys, did everyone stay healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I make everybody wear a mask in the chair too.
Yeah, because you got to be the like I said before the show. I was you got to be the master of your own domain.
Yep.
They're
well, what about my ears? I'm like, don't worry, I can work around it.
don't you worry your pretty little head.
Yeah.
I have a brand new baby niece. She was born.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we took care of our nephew. While all that was going on, so we stayed over the weekend a couple weekends ago. So she's only 2 weeks old right now. But yeah, she's got these long fingers and toes. It's really odd. She's this really. It's just you know when you see something and it's just you have to comment on it? Just like I've never seen a baby with that long fingers, long slender fingers, like Slender Baby. But, yeah, but her name.
She'll get chubbier.
No, yeah, of course. But no, we're just happy. It was like a natural childbirth too, which is great. So, you know, like the first one, like so both of my sisters, my sister-in-law and my sister, now have a niece and a nephew, but like opposite. So now they can date each other. No, who cares? But no, it's really cool. And now I have like this 4 nieces and nephews. It's really great. Or 2 and 2. And so that's fun during a pandemic.
I'll never be an aunt. So sad.
Not in your cards. Well, you know, grass is greener. You have your kid.
Well,
you know?
my sister's going to be my only hope. She's the only one I have hope that will make me an aunt.
Yeah, Stranger Things. I know you say that, and I feel like we have the same kind of sister. It's like, oh my God, this one's never getting married. Right?
Well,
am I right?
Well, no, my sister is married. She actually just celebrated her 1-year anniversary.
Oh, okay. Congratulations.
Earlier this month. Yep.
Okay.
She made it a year.
Okay. Now kids, on the other hand.
Just no kids yet. Well, her and her husband are both in college still, and they're planning on finishing that up before they even discuss children. I'm like, that's
Getting
good.
Married in college. I'd have never thought of that. Let's proceed with the viewing. So yeah, this is your take 1 for the, I think it was the 2017 contest.
Yeah.
Officially. So the summer of that year.
Hi, I'm Ashley Weidman, and let me tell you about 3 things I am the ultimate fan of. First thing being my children, Max and May, running, and obviously The Walking Dead. I made my husband drive me 12 hours to Atlanta, Georgia to the Walker Stalker Convention. 9 months pregnant. But while we were there, Josh McDermott did claim responsibility for The Godfather. So Josh, if you're up for it, so are we. And anyway, I spend my days taking care of my children, reading article after article, thinking of ways I can bring The Walking Dead up in normal conversation. I have an extreme passion for the show, which is also another reason why we are naming this little one after the strong, beautiful fighter that she is, Maggie, and to only hope that our Maggie will grow up to be just as half the person she is. So please pick me. Thank you.
Explain for a sec what do they not like about that? I thought that video was actually pretty perfect.
Yeah. They didn't like all the fluff in the beginning. They really wanted to focus on the fact that I was naming the baby Maggie. And they just said, because my whole gist was like, I am an ultimate fan of not just The Walking Dead, but I also have Max and May and obviously running and things like that. And so and I thought it was just funny to mention running when I was that pregnant.
Yeah.
And then to kind of like prove, like I made everyone in my entire family said, do not go to Atlanta. Do not do it. You're 9 months pregnant. You go into labor, you're going to have that baby in Atlanta. You have no one there with you.
Right. I mean, I've heard that you shouldn't fly when you're that pregnant.
It's your third baby. Like, don't do it. I was like, no, I'm going. Because I had the tickets before I got pregnant with her. And so there was no question I was going.
Right. And you did. And
I did. And I was like, I'll drive myself. My husband's like, no.
Okay.
I'll drive with you. So, yeah. So that was kind of the premise of my video, was just that, but they made me get rid of the fluff. They just said,
right.
Take the I think they said take the running out of it and mention your children, but because it flows with Max, May, and Maggie. So
right. Because I mean,
from what
this video I lifted off of your husband's YouTube channel because I'm that kind of researcher. So, and that's the first one I use. I noticed that the rest of the videos they don't have the medals. I think the one that you actually end up submitting, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm not sure if we'll see it in a sec, but I'm not sure if it has the kids in it. But I'm not 100% certain. About
I know it had the kids in it because I had to get permission from the photographers.
Oh wow!
I remember your video with the kids because you sat down on the couch and then they got up and ran away.
Yeah.
I meant the photos of the kids, but yeah.
No, I remember that video though.
That was awesome. Okay.
I laughed so hard.
So prepare to laugh a little bit more because I mean, what's really criminal, and the reason why I said, God, we have to do this, because your videos took on like this weird de-evolution. Like they went from really well done to like, I am just a person on the internet. Here's my camera. Like, but these are really good. And I just can't wait to show like the world that needs to see this. I swear to God. So, okay. So this is the first one you did, which actually wasn't bad. It's like, I thought this was the middle of the road kind of video that should have been submitted or should have been accepted. This was so Ashley, your video was, again, just to refresh everybody, that was for 2017's contest. That's take one. This one is 2018 take one for Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I am the biggest Walking Dead fan. I have seen every episode from day one. I've watched all the Talking Dead.
Let's just rewind. This is the second.
That's a nice freeze frame right there.
Right. This is like all of Rachel's wrecked after that episode. Eric is making me watch TWD alone. 316.
I love that you did that. That's so cool.
This is all Jeff. All Jeff.
How's that?
February 24th. Okay. Chris Hardwick said my name on Talking Dead. Now explain, what is that one about?
Oh, I do have that in my, I think it might be a clip in my Instagram still too. I did a wrote in on Facebook, and then they read my comment.
That's cool.
Cool. Hold on. Victoria McPhillips, you do artworks. I don't care. She wrote her name. You wrote her name on there. See? You should have gotten permission.
Right?
You are a TWD collector. Your paintings are amazing. If people would pay. So, okay. So you got your paintings in there. When someone upsets my best friend, Jeff. This is cool. This is really cool. On the agenda for today, read this comic. This is pretty awesome. Did you doodle in your comic? You did not.
No.
Okay. This is an overlay.
No.
Okay. All right, let's continue.
Every episode from day one. I've watched all the Talking Deads, and I've read every single comic book. I, not once but twice, won a contest to watch the season.
Hold on.
Oh.
Wait, who is that?
That's me and my friend Laura.
Okay. So you want to contest that what?
Contest to watch the season premiere and the finale on the big screen. I also have a ton of...
Explain that a little bit more.
It was a radio station contest, and the contest that I won was to watch the season 7 premiere in a movie theater. And the radio station, the season 7 was just about to start, and the radio station said, send us your, apocalyptic plan. And they picked like the top, 150 people that had the best plans, and I was one of them.
Okay, and which one you
and then
at the movie theater?
Correct, which one we the premiere. And then by the time the finale came around, the radio station DJs had sort of seen me as like a Walking Dead ultimate fan and just invited me back for the finale.
Oh, great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You should have kept that relationship going, you know what I'm saying?
I still do. I do April's hair pretty regularly.
Oh.
Yep, we're friends.
That's awesome. Okay, so here we
A
go.
ton of Walking Dead collectibles. I also do my own Walking Dead.
There was a lot of machine gun fire?
There's so many more now too.
Oh, yeah. Well, just take a look at any background of our episode. What was it that they didn't like about at least those?
The merchandise. They didn't want me to show any of the merchandise.
That's what I figured. I figured that.
Yep. And the shirt too. They told me to lose the shirt.
Oh, son of a... Wow.
Lose the shirt completely.
Yep. Yeah, I thought about going in my bra, but I didn't think that would win.
I think they would have laughed hysterically if you did do that. Not that we could show
You told
it.
me to lose the shirt.
And I'm like only half thinking, could we do it on a show? No, we can't.
Yeah. Nope, they pretty much don't want anything that says Walking Dead on it.
I see. So, nothing that says The Walking Dead. What about The Walking Dead?
Walking Dead artwork. I also do zombie effects makeup around Halloween time on myself and others. Again, I'm Rachel, and I am the biggest Walking Dead fan.
I thought that was really cool. I love the ending to that video. That's all Jeff again. Jeff.
Yep.
Do you want to shout him out last name too?
I did paint my face. Yeah. I did do the face paint, but yeah,
Just
was
that
all
cool
him. Yeah,
little...
Jeff Hildebrandt, Hill Productions.
Okay.
Yep.
And Yeah. So and so when they came back to you about that, they said, "Oh no, we like the art thing. We like the art thing.
Yes.
Talk
Yes.
more about that." But did they say
Yep.
lose the face makeup?
No.
Okay, so you just decided, okay, let me just focus on the art thing.
They said focus more on the art and the zombie makeovers.
Okay. Well, we'll see the second take, because the second take is actually it's just even better than that video. But we'll get to that in a second. And what's so interesting about this is that you'll see how this kind of just went. It just like the quality, obviously, because it's just you and a camera. It's not like a produced infinity background sort of. You'll see in a sec. But yeah,
Till we get back to this year, but that's later.
yeah. Oh, this year's out of this world. Okay, so so this is Ashley take 2. We'll see right now what changed. So no medals.
I'm Ashley Webben. Let me tell you about 2 things I am the ultimate fan of. First thing being my kids, Max and May. And second, obviously, The Walking Dead. I made my husband drive 12 hours to Atlanta, Georgia.
Talking so fast.
9 months pregnant for the Walker Soccer
like every
Convention.
30 seconds.
While we were there, Josh McDermott did claim responsibility for The Godfather. So Josh, if you're up for it, so are we. I spend my days taking care of my children, reading article after article, thinking of ways I can bring up The Walking Dead in normal conversation. And lastly, we are going to name this little one Maggie after the strong, beautiful character that she is in the show.
It's a little bit more organic. There's a lot less. It's more you than it is like, okay, medals in the background, the kids, etc. What about this?
How can you talk so fast?
Yeah. So was that the note that there's like, okay, you're talking a little too fast. Don't worry. Just let yourself talk, or what was it?
No, they said you need to talk fast because you got to get this under in 30 seconds. So I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, what didn't they like about this take though? Because it was pretty fast.
I think that was the one they used though.
Is it the one they used? Because I have another one. I think I have another one. I'm not sure.
Well, then maybe I didn't like that one. Maybe that was me. Maybe I was like, I don't like that one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, I do. You do have another take. Okay, so this is the one you didn't submit. Okay, that's entirely possible. Yeah. And that was for everybody's enjoyment.
Just talking really, really, really fast.
You're welcome.
We got
America.
to, though.
I
You
know,
got a lot
it's
to say
hard.
in
Oh my
such a
gosh.
short amount of time.
Okay, so this is Rachel's video, her second take for the same year, right? So
Yes. Yep.
And this one's even better than the last one. Okay, so in my opinion. Okay, ready?
Hey, I'm Rachel. I am the biggest Walking Dead fan. I do my own fan artwork, and I also give zombie makeovers. I've met some incredible people online being a part of the Walking Dead family. We share ideas. It's just been really wonderful getting to know these people. I've always been a fan of horror and anything creepy, and if I could, I would spend my life zombifying everybody I know. I'm Rachel, and I'm the biggest Walking Dead fan. Vote for me.
Okay. How cool was that? That was so awesome.
That was really cool.
Rachel dressed as Carol. Was that your hair?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Okay. I thought that was even better than the first one.
Yeah.
Like well produced, the little black and white at the end.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
It did really good.
Now let me ask, what was it about this take that they didn't like?
Was
it just not organic enough?
No, I don't even think they really had any notes on that one. I think at this point I just like kept sending them videos hoping something would stick.
You jerk.
So that video we just watched, and then the one that they ended up actually using,
Yeah.
I think got sent within like probably a few days of each other, and then they just decided to use one over the other.
I mean, my guess would be that you kept you overwrote all the other videos. I mean, well, but they did give you feedback on the next one, which I'll show. But
Yeah.
we'll get to that. I just thought that was really, really well done. It was just a really good video, and that's why I wanted to show it to everybody, because I thought it was just brilliant. It was just
I kind of
brilliantly done.
felt like I was being like sort of pushed into using like a phone camera instead of like, I don't know, the higher level of what like production value, you know what I mean?
Like a DSLR with many takes.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you saw all the videos I submitted, and they decided to go with the phone one.
Right. Now, who were the people that were in the video? The people that you made up? Do you know them, or who are they?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The girl was my friend Jessica, and the dude was my friend Rick.
Yeah. Now, how did you pay them?
I didn't pay them. They're my friends.
So you don't have to pay your friends. Okay, good to know. I'll take that back and use it.
I just said, hey, I need a couple people I can turn into zombies, and they both went, I'll do it.
Yeah. Are these guys Walking Dead fans at all? I'm actually curious now.
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Well, that's such as all our cases, right? So
yeah,
this is like how we all got together. Okay.
It's really weird. Like none of my friends watch the show.
Yeah,
none of them.
There is like a growing trend right now. I'm getting my friend Matt to get like, okay, I guess I'll catch up. Okay, maybe I guess good things are happening. Oh, Rick's on the show.
I tried to get my principal to watch it.
Nice.
Oh well, that's awesome.
Well, we played like a game, like a get to know you game, and you had to bring something that started with the first letter of your middle name. And my middle name is Rose. And so I was like, well, what can I bring? And I'm like, Rick. So, I brought like a little Rick, like bobblehead. So he's like, I didn't know you were a fan of the show. And I'm like,
that was almost like a Rick. It was like, I didn't know you were a fan of the show.
And I was like, you should watch it. He's like, is it just all about zombies? I'm like, no, it's about the people. And just like, he's like, whoa, who did I hire?
Here is the third take. I think it literally is the same, except you gave yourself a little bit more time to kind of spell everything out. Yeah, exactly. So here we go.
I'm Ashley Weidman, and let me tell you about two things I am the ultimate fan of. First thing being my children, Max and May, and second, obviously, The Walking Dead. I made my husband drive 12 hours to Atlanta, Georgia, 9 months pregnant, for the Walker Stalker convention. While we were there, Josh McDermott did claim responsibility for The Godfather. So Josh, if you're up for it, so are we. I spend my days taking care of my children, reading article after article, thinking of ways I can bring up The Walking Dead in normal conversation. One Maggie, after the strong, beautiful character she is on the show.
Oh, that sounded really good. A lot. Really comfortable.
Did it?
Yeah, no, it really did. And that's the video I do remember seeing.
Yeah. And that was the one. Yeah. Now, one thing I didn't point out from the first take to the second take was that one was pre, and then the second and third takes were post, because one you were going to, and in the second and third you would already come back from with the Josh McDermott thing too.
I think all of them I had the photo.
Did you? Okay, I don't remember.
In the first one, yeah.
Oh, and you know, when we were talking about it, there was a thought, and then we were talking about.
And yes, the first one with the medals and stuff, that was actually a week before.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
And when they told me to redo the video, they were like, you haven't had the baby yet, have you? And I was like, no, she's late. Oh my God. Because she was at that next day, I think I had gone into labor with her after that video. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah. And
yeah, it was that close because she was late. Wow. She was like a 10-day late baby. So,
wow. So you really, really could have had it at Walker Stalker. Had Maggie.
I really could have. Yeah. It was like, yeah.
Wow.
It was a lot of walking and standing and.
Oh my God! Yeah. Especially
like I remember just thinking like that. Like I just remember thinking like she's so heavy. I'm so tired.
She had to be so heavy.
I know. Like I was like standing in line and everyone and like we waited to meet Lauren Cohan for like an hour and a half, and I was like, she's so heavy. My feet hurt. Can you hold me?
You hold me, Jared. Can you piggyback ride? Like, can you imagine? Like,
I know, right?
Can you imagine? Like,
and everyone's like looking at me, like, "Are you here?"
Yeah, exactly. Like, this doesn't seem right. Are you from here? Is that okay? Can we talk?
No, I'm not from here.
Oh no.
Oh no. I'm from the north.
It's getting real hot in here. I'm getting a little loopy. Oh wait, no, keep that laughter going because we're gonna go into this video now. So now wait.
Oh God.
Just so
we're not watching the whole thing.
Just
please.
Yeah, we are.
We're watching the whole thing.
God, please no.
Okay, we'll do veto power. Like if you guys can override me, I'll do it. But in the meantime, 5 minutes and 51 seconds.
It's so long.
So what you have to understand about this video is that Rachel, you told me that you had to make this widescreen, and instead of making it widescreen, you actually adapted the vertical to like a horizontal screen. So it played on a widescreen, but it was still a vertical take. So Rachel didn't gain weight; it just It's just just a little wider than it should be. So there you go.
You can see my notes down there at the bottom.
I'm Rachel from Michigan. I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and tell you a little bit about my fan work.
Yeah, Rachel, tell us about your fan work.
Paintings up on the wall. I do this in between seasons. Just kind of tides me over, gives me that Walking Dead fix that I need in between. The first painting I did, of course, was Glenn. Show you a little closer. This was very sad. This I did, I guess you could say, as a coping mechanism. This was right after
out of
the
breath
season
because
7
I'm nervous.
premiere.
The world
I did
needs
this
to
first
see
one.
this. The world needs to see
I
this.
couldn't bring myself to, do what we saw on the show. So the blood in the background, I think, kind of speaks for itself, and gives the painting its meaning. So this was very hard to do and to get through. I was crying a lot, days, even weeks, every Sunday when the opening credits were rolling and Steven Yeun's name was gone. I was just heartbroken and would cry all over again. So this was how I dealt with it. Next, I did the individual Carol here. This one I did
I like
abstract,
this one, actually.
Sorta. I really wanted to show all the different dimensions of Carol, all the different pieces that just fit so perfectly together of her personality. As most people, we have a light side and a dark side to our personalities. Carol's no exception to that, and she wears her colors well. This was my interpretation of that. All the different pieces of Carol fitting together so perfectly. She's my girl. She is the badass for me right now. I want her to make it all the way. I think her character has come the farthest, developed the most. I think a lot of people really relate to Carol, which is why she's such a fan favorite. And I just love painting Melissa McBride because she is absolutely beautiful. So there she is. Next, I did Daryl. Daryl was number 3. And there he is. I mean, who doesn't love Daryl?
There he is.
Yeah,
There you go.
He's definitely one of my favorite characters, and I wanted to portray that on canvas. So there he is. These are all oil paintings over stretched canvas. Ooh. The next painting,
There it goes.
whoops, Daryl's attacking. Calm down there, Daryl.
Calm down, Daryl.
Oh, the next one I did was
Calm down, Daryl.
the love between these two. Now, this one I did get a little
I like that
inspiration
one.
from another painting or another photo that I saw online. And then I took it and did my own interpretation here. I did get a lot of compliments on this one. People tell me they can really see the love that Carol has for Daryl in this painting, and it makes me feel really good because that's exactly what I wanted to come through in this painting. The platonic love that they have is just so
Platonic
amazing.
love. Even for
I
them.
love the
Platonic
relationship
love. You
between
hear that?
these two. In
Even
the
way
beginning,
back
I thought
then.
they'd couple up. Glad that didn't happen. I absolutely love the relationship and the dynamic that they have right now. I think it's something that we all need right now, is that unbreakable friendship, that bond, that truly unconditional love for somebody. Somebody that is going to have your back no matter what. They're going to have your best interests at heart always.
Right.
And I think for these
Wait, what was that?
Cue the sappy music.
two, the other one is it for the other one. So I love the dynamic between these two, and I'm very, very glad the showrunners did not decide to couple them up.
Ooh.
And then
See?
my last
It's
one.
saying it from the
oh,
beginning.
This is my favorite one,
This
actually.
one was hard. Now this one I did
He's
right
over there.
after Carl got bit. We were not 100% sure yet that Carl was going to be leaving us. I had my own theories. That was my first guess. I thought we would see the walkers the whisperers for the first time that episode. I was convinced that Carl was bit by a whisperer, and he wasn't gonna die. They'd all be
Interesting
waiting
theory.
for him to die, and he just wouldn't, and then they'd have to figure out why, and that would be our introduction to the whisperers. Unfortunately, we know now that that's not how it went down. So I painted this as my, I guess, me coming to terms with reality. I didn't want Carl to die. I'm sure nobody did. Nobody did. But this was me accepting the reality of what it was going to be. So.
I knew a few people.
So those are my paintings. All my fan art. I just do it for fun. It's a hobby of mine. I use all oil paintings on the stretched canvas, and I will continue to do them. Out of paint right now, so it's a little on hold, but as soon as I'm restocked, I've got a Michonne painting on the way. I'm working on that one right now. I also want to. I don't know why they care.
I'm accepting donations.
I kind of turn our living characters into zombies. So there's a little sneak peek for what is to come. Thank you. Thanks for watching.
This is funny. Okay, so I also lifted this off of your husband's YouTube account because at this point, after your last take.
Go to another Skype video submission. I'm so sorry. Rhonda, thank you so much. I know. We have to get through a few people. This is another submission. Take a look.
I'm Ashley Wyman, and let me tell you about two things I am the ultimate fan of. First thing being my children, Max and May, and second, obviously, The Walking Dead. I made my husband drive 12 hours to Atlanta, Georgia. 9 months pregnant. I spent my days taking care of my children, reading article after article.
You see how they cut that?
Ways I can bring up The Walking Dead in normal conversation. And lastly, we are going to name this little one Maggie after the strong, beautiful character she is on the show.
By the way, I'd like to congratulate them. She actually had Maggie on Monday evening, so huge congratulations from everyone here at The Walking Dead. How many babies do you think of a name, Carol?
Look at them clapping for you.
Farm animals. Name my goat Darrow.
Okay, so
I didn't think we were doing this one.
keep in mind. Yes, we are doing this one. This is the one that you will ultimately I had to vote on several times. This is the video that made me fall in love with you. Okay, just keep that in mind. I was like, look at this crazy person putting it all on the table.
Crazy person, you got that right.
Exactly. And I was just like, oh my God, who is this person? So this is what ended up happening.
Hi, I'm Rachel from Michigan. I just want to take a few minutes and tell you a little bit about my fan art. This is my wall of paintings. I do all of my work on stretch canvas and oil paints. The first one I did was Glenn. This was right after the season 7 premiere. This was.
I know you hate me right now. I feel you hating me right now. But keep in mind, I'm like, you have to understand something. I normally when I look at videos and I see that people are taking too long, it's like this is against the rules. I'm just gonna skip it. But I just could not stop watching this.
You have no idea how upset I was that they posted this on their website and didn't bother to chop it up. I was mad at myself
for not chopping it up.
Well, I didn't know that they were going to just put it up there. I figured if they were going to use it, they'd take whatever they want and make 30 seconds out of it, right?
Right.
But no, they put the whole stinking thing up there and then all these other entries and I'm like, oh my God, I look like an asshole.
And I was just like, I don't know how this got past everything, but I just couldn't stop watching. I couldn't stop watching. You don't even know. And so, I mean, and normally I wouldn't because I don't have time for this shit. But then, I couldn't stop. I really couldn't stop.
You felt bad for me, right?
It was
sympathy views.
It was really weird. I felt two things. I felt like this definitely deserved more votes. So I did, right? But then I was just like, who is this fucking person? And so I went looking for you. I'm like, I could definitely find this person. She's out there. She has TWC family written all over her face. So, and then I found you. And then there we are.
Here we are.
Rest is history.
And
sort of my way of holding on to the character. I didn't want to accept it, but it was the reality. And every Sunday when we didn't see Stephen Yeun's name in the credits, I would cry my eyes out it was pretty bad. So this was my way of dealing with that. The next painting I did, I do all these in between the seasons. This is my my way of getting my Walking Dead fix in between the seasons. Just something to do, keep me busy. Carol, here was my...
Is that glitter in your hair too?
Of course.
Because I thought it was going crazy. I thought that was like an artifact
No.
on the screen. But like,
No.
oh, that's cute. I'm like, look at this beauty. Look at this one.
When I had
next
hair,
painting.
it always had glitter in it.
This one I did in sort of an abstract fashion. I really wanted to show all the different pieces and parts to Carol and how they fit together perfectly. And really kind of focus on the light side and dark side to Carol. Just like we all have a light and a dark side to each other. Carol wears both sides very well. She's my girl. She is my favorite character right now. She's just a badass. I love her character, and Melissa McBride is just amazing to paint because she's so beautiful. So there's Carol. The next one I did.
This is what made me fall in love with you. Watch this crazy person. Watch it.
Was Daryl.
Just like climbing up and just getting
Not
it.
much to say about Daryl. I just wanted to paint him. I mean, who doesn't love Daryl Dixon? And again, Norman Reedus is an amazing actor and really wonderful to paint. This was Daryl. Ooh.
That. It's just doing that.
Next,
Like you could have
I
just left
did,
it there. You just went right back up there.
The relationship between Carol and Daryl. I did get some inspiration for this one from a picture or a photo that I saw online. And then I sort of did my own interpretation of it. I did get a lot of compliments on this one. A lot of people tell me they can really feel the love that Carol has for Daryl, and that is one of the things that I absolutely love about this relationship. Early on, I really wanted them to couple up. I thought they'd kind of get together, but that didn't happen, and boy, am I glad. The platonic relationship that they have is just something I think that we all need right now, this unbreakable bond between friends. They really have each other's back, no matter what, through anything, and I think that's a relationship that we can all kind of learn a little something from.
Go back up
And
there.
last but certainly not least is Carl. I did this one right after he got bit, but we weren't sure yet if he was going to die or not.
You can actually see the teeth marks a lot better in this video too.
Yeah, you can.
That was actually I was hoping that he got bit by a whisperer, and that was going to be our introduction into that group. I thought for sure he got bit by a whisperer, and everybody would be kind of waiting for him to die, and he just wouldn't, and then they'd have to figure out why. Of course, we now know that that's not the case, but this was my way of kind of accepting reality. We might lose Carl, and of course that's what happens. So that is my artwork. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I do everything in oil and stretched canvas. Thanks.
This was a really tight version of that third video. You went through everything. I was still impressed that all of that was in that video that I could vote on. And it was just so like who is this wacko? I love it.
I know. I still feel like an asshole though, that they put the whole thing up.
But then like if you could get as far as like the Carl painting is like the whispers. Wait, hold on a second. That is an interesting, very cool take on that theory. I was like, which again, like this is I'd watched this like well after it was that scene was filmed and the idea was thrown on the table and so I'm going back knowing I don't think the Whisperers had come out yet. I'm not sure, but
they hadn't.
And I'm not sure when like I started talking to you to the point where I actually started having on the show, because I think it wasn't too long after Ashley had come on, if I'm not mistaken. And then I'm gonna be looking at everybody's first episodes too, because like I said in some of the posts later last week. I'm going to be reposting some like favorite moments on the show. Some of that's going to be like when Ashley first came on the show, when Rachel came out. I'm gonna even post Meg's as well. Definitely Chris's. The time I think the one time we actually formed Voltron, which is like all 5 of us.
That was awesome.
But then there's gonna be other things too, like me just like it was update 13.1 where I said, no, Negan's dying. Negan's like that's a good one. So these are definitely gonna be in there at some point. So I guess we'll see. Ashley, this is the one that actually got you the win for 2018. So did you do different takes of this one as well? Did they have you modify anything? So like on the first shot?
They said, nope, you rocked it. No, they didn't. What they actually did was they took my video from the year before and added in my belly.
Oh.
Into my video. Because I didn't do that. They did it.
Oh.
Okay, well the one I have here is just you. Not your belly. So that's interesting. So they in the final analysis they like added a frame of you from the last one. Okay. Oh, so they put it in when you were doing this. Now it makes more sense because you'll see in a second.
Yeah, I like went like this and then they like added me in like, whoa, there she is. Like,
whoa, there she blows, Maggie. And you'll see in a sec because like you just literally just go, I was, and you didn't say anything, and I'm just like, oh, I guess they put a. Okay, well, there you go.
Pregnant.
Hi, I'm Ashley from Rockton, Illinois. You might remember me last year with well, Maggie, she's out.
Right? Nothing. With the
Yep.
Now, and she's a walker. But I live on this island filled with people that don't appreciate anything about The Walking Dead, make fun of me.
Oh, I get so mad.
I would love.
What was that? What was so bad about it?
I said, I get so mad.
Being on the island?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you know?
It's so frustrating.
The opportunity to share my love and my knowledge of the show with all of you guys. Let me just give you a little insight to what I actually go through in my house. Watch this.
All right, guys, Mom gets to pick.
No!
Let's watch The Walking Dead.
No!
Look how little she was.
That was, I remember that one too.
Perfect.
I laughed so hard.
That's like literally my wife.
Adorable.
Like, oh, I guess it's The Walking Dead. You just have to fucking go now. It's like, guess it's time to move on. You can sit and watch with me, honey. No, fuck that. I'm going to sleep. This is too depressing. But in her defense, she actually did an econ project on the economics of The Walking Dead. One day I'll have her share that with you guys. This video here is Rachel's submission for 2020. Now, questions before I air this, because this is going to go pretty fast, but what is the news for the 2020 Ultimate Fan thing? Did they just drop it? Was there any announcement about it? Does anybody know anything?
The only information I know was, I think it was a Facebook post. Or
Yeah,
maybe
it was.
an Instagram post.
Mm-hmm.
That was
so.
it. That was the only thing ever said. And so I did send this video in, but I didn't hear back from anybody.
Well, you're talking about the post from when they were asking for submissions, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Right, but nothing following up, right?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Oh, fascinating. Okay. Because that was the thing that I wanted to know if it was still on, because this is your submission, and I thought it was a good submission. All right, so let's play this video. When this episode airs, I'll see if I can get more information about this. But like as of now, I don't know what's going on with the competition.
This is another one of Jeff's masterpieces as well.
Yeah, you can definitely tell.
You can tell.
And that's the thing. Like, I definitely want to see this being submitted. And that's why I'm doing this now, is because I want to see what others have submitted. So I want to get this to trend somewhat and get people to actually send their own submissions as well. And let's see what if you guys want to vote on this stuff and enough things come in, let the fans vote on it, and maybe we could do something. I think that'd be a great idea.
Bragging rights are even just fun, right? It could just be a fun, friendly competition.
The great thing about like our fans is that they're generally speaking, they're all following each other. So I think there's a generalized like mutual respect for everybody, more or less. in some circles, and so in most circles. So I think the cream will rise to the top. I'm kind of curious to see what everybody has. And and that's why I'm sharing this video with everybody else too, because I think people deserve to see this one. Like after we put them through your last two videos, I think they deserve to see this because it's really great. So
this will be a pleasant treat.
Without further ado, 47 seconds.
Excited.
Yeah, there we go.
For those of you in the community who don't know me, I'm Rachael B. from Michigan. Being a part of the Walking Dead community has given me so many experiences just this past year alone. Earlier this year, I joined a podcast called Squawking Dead.
That's us!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
I have my thinking face. Everybody has their thinking face. Good episode.
I'm in my Skilla onesies.
I didn't notice that.
And each week we break down all things Walking Dead related.
Wait, is that the Jeff Hildebrandt? His chat box is right here at the bottom. So he must have lifted this off of Facebook.
Oh no, I screenshotted it and sent it to him. That's my screen.
Hysterical. He didn't.
So I was talking to him, but yeah, that's him.
That's hysterical. Okay.
I attended the Walker Stalker event in Atlanta this year as well, where I got to meet most of the Walking Dead community, and I now consider most of them not just friends, but family. I also attended my first Walker Stalker in Chicago, where I got this tattoo, and to me it doesn't just represent
met Ashley.
the show.
What's that?
And met Ashley.
Yes, you did in real life.
That's right.
That's so cute. And how poignant.
I have thought about saying that, and I'm like, is that too much of a name dropping?
They'd be like, who?
Who?
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't.
You should have just gone like this. Pregnant?
Belly.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah, she named her kid Mad. Yeah, I remember all about it. Kids screaming kids, right?
They did. They're still screaming.
Then that boring teacher won the next year. Sorry, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Totally
She
kidding.
was so sweet.
She was so nice. We
so
friended
nice.
her after she won. So there you go. Nothing. I'm just kidding. But no, there's teacher, and then there's teacher. There's
Yes.
The belly. Right. There you go. Okay.
But the connections that I've made. From creating oil paintings to going full alpha and shaving my head to raise money for the St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Those are a few of the reasons that I think I'm the ultimate Walking Dead fan. So vote for me, Rachael B.
Click.
Love it. That was really good.
Click.
So, Dave, you know how I told you they had me on the phone to do like a call-in question for one of the Talking Deads?
Oh yeah, you were talking about that.
And I was on the phone for the entire episode of Talking Dead waiting. I'm on the phone for like an hour. And
now, do you remember which one we're talking about? Which episode?
I can tell you who was on it. Yvette Nicole Brown and Scott M. Gimple were on that episode. Rick's Fever Dream episode.
Yeah, it was his last episode.
Yeah.
Season 9, episode 5. Okay.
This was bogus. So he had me on the phone and he asked, what question do you have? And I said a question, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it is now.
Right.
But then the person who actually called in on Talking Dead asked that question.
That sucks.
And I'm like, okay, so now I got to think of another one. Yeah, like they took another caller and that caller asked the question that I had asked. But they let them go on the air and I was still waiting on hold.
Right.
So, I mean, maybe we just both thought of the same question. That's totally possible.
Right.
Well, that's what they screen these questions. That's what really bugs me.
They do. Yes, absolutely.
Maybe
and if they don't like
they're the ones
question,
who switch it up.
And if they don't like the question you ask, they'll ask you to change it.
Holy mackerel.
So I ended up asking. So I didn't even know that they did this. There's actually an after show after Talking Dead that just goes on like their website. I had no idea. Didn't even know about it. So they actually had me stay on the phone and I asked a question on like that little 15-minute segment after the show. So, and I asked.
What people don't know is that when you get to call in and you stay on, you get to listen to the entire episode on the phone.
It was so
like a radio
cool
show.
Too. Yes.
Yeah, you get to
hear the audience.
Like,
You hear like all the backstage call outs. It was really wild being on the phone too. Yeah. You can hear everything going on.
Okay.
Because when I was waiting to be announced, I had no idea, but I had to sit and be on, like, listen to the show, and I got to hear everyone's mics, like,
Get the
during
fuck
commercial
outta-
breaks.
That is so
Like, during
weird.
commercial breaks and stuff. And you know who was the sweetest person was Pollyanna. Like, she was just so sweet. Like, she was like, oh, Chris, you're doing such a good job. And, like, complimenting everybody. And I was like, she's top notch
It's
right
like,
there.
You're such a good boy.
She's so great.
I met her last year. She was so
she's really
so
great.
nice. Yeah.
She's the Jenny
Meg and
article.
Meg and I got to interview her at Jacob's Table. She was so sweet. Yeah. Her
So
and
sweet.
I'm gonna mess up her last name. Sabrina
Generino, yeah.
Generino. Yeah. Yeah, both of them were just absolutely amazing. So easy to talk to too. Like
Yeah.
that is like that's the most shocking thing to me.
Right.
Like you meet these people and you expect to be like starstruck, but
Yeah.
maybe like at first, but as soon as they start talking, they're just like, oh hey, how's your day? And like you're like, you're so easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a very strange experience. Well, especially like with when you're doing the camp, which actually, so I'm curious, Ashley. It's not something that you would want to do, though, right? Like if like first of all, like pandemic, any of that stuff, are you able to do that while you're teaching? Is there some way you'd be able to make it down?
The
Like,
one in May.
Pandemic, and there's a
There's a camp in October.
I'm trying to say the camp.
Oh.
There's the camp.
Right.
I just call it.
I doubt it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's one in October and there's one in May.
Yeah.
Memorial Day.
It would be so hard. It'd be so
Even
hard.
Memorial Day
Just-
would be pretty hard, right?
Yeah, and that's my son's birthday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, his birthday is usually right on Memorial Day or like right around it. Yeah, it would be tough. I don't know though. I'd have to play it. You know, like I wonder if there was like a day where we had a break, or you know, or maybe I could make the whole family come, or I don't know, something like that.
Oh yeah, and it's not actually on the day of too. It's like the Saturday and Sunday, right? Well, actually now it's 2 days, Saturday and Sunday.
For camp.
Yeah, and it's because the
Yeah.
Memorial Day itself, I think, is Dunzo. That's your day. So
Okay.
I mean, you know, it might be a good idea. What about you, Rach? Are you doing fall? I guess maybe.
I hope so. I hope I can. I mean, I got to
Right.
see what's going on in my life then.
I haven't thought about
a lot
it
of things
either.
are going to be a lot of things are going to be changing in the next couple of months, so I don't want to make too many plans for then and then be crushed when I can't do it.
Yeah, well, we already have a vendor table for the May event. Like we had it, got canceled, obviously, and so
Right.
they pushed it over to 2021.
I'll
So
be
who
at that
knows?
one because I already have everything reserved and paid for. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everybody does, right?
including my plane ticket, and I think Delta's going to let me cash it in and use it next year too.
Oh, so give you like a voucher?
That's nice.
I
Travel
have a voucher.
Wow.
And I think I have until like 2022 to use it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah.
It's a good thing I didn't travel like for that day, for that weekend.
It's
It's a good thing I'm lazy.
Bought my airplane ticket so early.
When you were talking about the question that you asked after hours for the internet stream, it's for like
Oh yeah.
AMC.com and their YouTube channel, I think too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Ashley, it sounds like you've been on. Have you tried to ask a couple questions? Has it worked?
I've never asked a question before, but I've put like stuff on Twitter or Facebook.
That they.
And I don't think they've ever submitted them.
Okay.
Or used them. I mean.
What were you, when you were on the phone? Was it you trying to ask a question, and then you were just on and heard all the mics and stuff like that? Is that
Are
how?
you talking about me?
Well, yeah. If you call, if and when you called,
It was when that night that they announced me. That's why I was on.
Oh.
I was literally sitting and listening to everything before they announced me, because they kept saying like, we have 5 other people online. You don't know who it's going to be.
Was
So-
it?
So did you really find out like in real time too? Like you you didn't know yet that you had won?
And people
No.
could still
I
vote,
mean,
or what? How did it work?
Cool.
No, I had no idea. They later told me they knew Friday.
Oh, okay.
But they made me believe that no one knew. And,
It's like the Oscars, right?
yeah,
Like they know.
no one knew. But then when they said they came on, it was like maybe a minute before Chris announced me. There was like they were like, something's wrong with your internet. They're like, you need to call us, and I was like, what?
What?
So Yeah, I like panicked because I had headphones in.
Wait, it was a trick though, right?
That they had bought me. No, my something wasn't working. And so they had bought me these headphones because they didn't like the color I had. So they bought me Apple headphones.
So offensive.
And then they weren't working. And they were like, you need to call in right now. And I was like, okay. And so I like grabbed my phone and then I'll like, they're like, you're on right now. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was very intense. And I didn't like it.
Oh my God.
I didn't like it one bit. I wasn't ready.
No, I don't like intensity like that.
So stressful.
It was really stressful, yes.
I
My kids were sleeping like right above me because I was in the basement. And so I was like, can I scream? Like, I don't know. Can I be really excited and
Yes,
wake them up? And
thank
then
you very much, Chris. Thank you. Yes.
deal with that?
That's not what happened. I mean,
Well, and then they rehearsed with me about what to say if I was to win.
Oh.
They rehearsed it with me over and over. And they're like, well, what would you want to say? And so I said, and they're like, okay, well, let's talk about maybe say it this way. And then I like wrote it down. So I was like, I like sat and memorized it. And I was like, this is what I'm going to say. Like,
holy mac.
And I messed it up because I was so nervous.
I mean, yeah, like just because of all that. I mean, I would mess it up too. Are you kidding me?
I was so nervous. But then afterwards, they're like, you did so great. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like,
So what did you want to say? Like, what would you have
Yeah.
said?
Oh, God, I don't even remember.
Before their prompting.
I don't even remember. Like, I think they said, like, what makes you the ultimate fan or something like that. And they wanted me
I'd
to
be
really...
like, you saw my video.
Well, they wanted me to really emphasize that, you know, like, The Walking Dead was my, like, escape from my life as a mom, pretty much. Like, that's where they wanted me to really, like, push. And so I kind of had to talk about that. And, like, it was a lot of family-based things and, like, how I got my stepdad to watch it with me, and I named my daughter Maggie, and, like, it was very, like, based around my family. So,
Right.
And I don't remember. Like, I was so nervous. I don't even.
I just find that so shocking. Like, what would somebody say that would be bad? Like, if you won something, I'd be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. This is amazing. Like,
Right.
What is so wrong with that?
They want to make sure that you have a sort of, like, you know, you're not going to just be like, oh shit, like,
Or like that guy that
You
just
know what?
fuck him right in the pussy, like that guy in the news.
yeah, like and I would never do that, but
Which
like,
still could happen, though, right?
Well, yeah,
I mean,
too.
just because they give you a script doesn't mean you're going to follow it.
Yeah.
and it wasn't like they gave me a script. They just said, how would you answer this question if Chris was to ask you live on television? And I was like, I
God,
don't know.
these guys, these
That's
tricksters. Thank you both.